Hello everyone, my name is Sarafi and I'm happy to meet you all. And today I'm revisiting Traptrix. I feel like Traptrix has a lot of potential in the current meta as a way to actually slow Malice down. Malice is a deck that has been repeatedly derided for being basically immune to every hand trap that sees competitive play. Fair enough. But we can stop that with actual traps instead. So Traptrix has a lot of different methods of interacting with the board, and you can basically use any of them that you want. In my deck, I'm playing Traptrix Trap Hole Nightmare, I'm playing Chain Hole, Gravedigger's Trap Hole, Terrifying Trap Hole Nightmare, and then of course we also have Ragnaraika Hunting Dance. So there are a lot of ways to stop your opponent from building a board to begin with, even if they have a lot of extenders. So let's take a look and see. And as far as the Ragnaraika engine, it's designed to make sure that Traptrix actually has a board that's difficult to break. Traptrix itself is not a very combo-heavy deck, so it has a lot of room to improve itself. And I feel like this engine, this plant, insect, reptile support engine that Ragnaraika is, gives Traptrix basically exactly what it needs. So, none of the Traptrix cards are really one-card combos, which makes sense. The deck's not that new. But the Ragnaraika stuff is. So, we're going to take a look at two one-card combos first with the Ragnaraika package, so you can experiment and see what that looks like. Then we'll merge the two decks together. First up, we're going to activate Ragnaraika Bloom, which is the continuous spell. And once per turn, it allows us to add a Ragnaraika monster from our deck to our hand, then discard a card. So technically speaking, we do have to have a... Technically speaking, these two one-card combos do require that we have an insect, plant, or reptile in our hand for Evil Seed's effect to work. But, I mean, you're going to. You're not going to have, like, the continuous spell and 4 traps, most likely. You can even discard Max C. Alright, so we're just going to pitch a random card from our hand. Alright. Now, we'll use Evil Seed's effect. We send one card from our hand to the graveyard, special summon the Evil Seed. Evil Seed effect. We get to add 2 cards from our deck to our hand and then banish 1. So we add Samurai Beetle and Wicked Butterfly. We banish the Wicked Butterfly, which triggers its effect. So during the end of the turn, we will draw a card for each insect, plant, and reptile that we control with different types. Next up, we're going to return Wicked Beetle to our extra deck, or to our deck, in order to special summon the Ragnaraika Samurai Beetle. Then we'll use these 2 monsters as link material in order to link summon our Ragnaraika Skeletal Soldier. Now, I know what you're thinking, if you are a Traptrix player. Sarafi, where's the Dominus Purge? Dominus Purge is one of the main reasons that Traptrix can come back. Yes, but Dominus Purge restricts you from using fire monsters, and unfortunately Skeletal Soldier is a fire monster. So even though all the Traptrix monsters are earth, one of our most important building blocks is fire, therefore we are not playing Dominus Purge. Alright. Samurai Beetle's effect, we're going to... Oh, Samurai Beetle's light, by the way. So that's also another card that gets turned off with Purge. We're going to use Samurai Beetle's effect, and we're going to bring back our Traptrix Mantis. And then we will activate Skeletal Soldier's effect to bring back our Evil Seed. Now we will link the Evil Seed and the Skeletal Soldier into Mantis Monk. And Ragnaraika Mantis Monk's effect allows us to banish the other 2 Ragnaraika monsters from our graveyard in order to add the Ragnaraika Hunting Dance Trap from our deck to our hand. Now, from here, we will activate the effect of Ragnaraika Skeletal Soldier, place a plant monster from our field on the bottom of the deck, and then special summon this card. Then we link these 2 monsters together, which allows us to make our Ragnaraika Stag Sovereign. Set the trap, and that's your opening combo. Stag Sovereign has an effect where if a monster is special summoned from the opponent's deck and or extra deck, you can destroy 2 monsters on the field. It is not up to 2 monsters on the field, but it doesn't target. So if your opponent has at least 2 monsters on the field, you can activate the effect, pop 2 cards. If your opponent responds by attributing one of them, you'll have to destroy Stag Sovereign, so maybe wait until they have 3 monsters. Regardless, that's your options. You also have Hunting Dance, which has target a card your opponent controls up to the number of different types and destroy them. And if a face-up insect, reptile, or plant is destroyed by battle or card effect while this card is in your graveyard, you can banish this card, then target one monster your opponent controls and destroy it. The Stag Sovereign also has 3,300 attack points, and it has the same effect that the other monsters do of, if this card is in your graveyard, you can target any monster you control, place it on the bottom of your deck, then revive this. So if your opponent manages to clear the Stag Sovereign, but they don't kill you, which is going to be pretty hard because you're stalling them so much, then you could just bring Stag Sovereign back from the graveyard next turn for just 1 monster. And the Bloom has the effect to special summon a Ragnaraika monster from your hand, graveyard, or banishment in defense position. So even if you don't have another monster, Bloom will just give it to you. So you have like good follow-up, you have good interruption just off this 1 card and a discard. Now then, let's take a look and see what happens if we open the Evil Seed instead of the continuous spell. Okay, Evil Seed is the same way. It's very much just you go into a full Ragnaraika combo, but the difference is the order. So you discard the card that you have in hand first, special summon Ragnaraika the Evil Seed. Use its effect to grab the Samurai Beetle and the Ragnaraika Bloom. Then you banish the Samurai Beetle from your hand. Activate Bloom. Bloom's effect, special summon the Samurai Beetle from banishment. Then link these 2 monsters into your Stag Sovereign. Or your Skeletal Soldier, I mean. Samurai Beetle, bring back the Mantis. Skeletal Soldier, special summon the Evil Seed. Go into the Mantis Monk. Mantis Monk effect. Banish the 2 that aren't the Link monster. Grab the trap. Set the trap. Skeletal Soldier. Shuffle this back. Link 5. There you go. Okay, so if you've never played Ragnaraika, here is your little understanding about how to play Ragnaraika. Now we can combine this with Traptrix so that you can see how these decks go. Now, you probably didn't notice this, but in both of those combos, both the first combo and second combo, I was able to special summon Evil Seed from the hand and also special summon the Beetle from the hand. And then I just special summoned a bunch from the graveyard. So in neither of these combos did I normal summon a single time. This is why the deck is so good with Traptrix, because Traptrix really needs its normal summon. Normal summoning for Traptrix is very, very important. So Ragnaraika is able to build a solid board with a Link 5 and also a normal trap card that interrupts the board, which are 2 key things that Traptrix cares about, without you using your normal summon. So you can do the rest of it with the Traptrix combo. Great. Now that we have these, let's go ahead and take a look at some 2 and 3 card combos. Alright, so I got these combos from YouTuber Earth Team Jordan. I'll put his link link to his channel in the video description below. In particular, the reason why I feel like I need to update his video is because this was when these cards were still in the OCG. So he's not playing in Master Duel, and in particular, he's using all of the original names, so that can be kind of difficult for you to track if you're playing in English. So yeah, I will leave a link to the original video in the description though, and he's really good, so you should check him out as well. Alright, let's go ahead and let's start this combo, which is Ragnaraika the Evil Seed plus Traptrix Mantis. So first, we're going to normal summon Traptrix Mantis, and we'll use its effect, which allows us to add any Traptrix monster from our deck to our hand, and we're going to choose Traptrix Myrmeleo. Then we'll use Mantis as link material in order to link summon Traptrix Sarah. This is the best Traptrix monster in the game by far. Absolutely crazy card. Link 1 Earth monster with 800 attack points. This Link summon card is unaffected by traps. You can only use each of the following effects once per turn and not during the damage step. If a normal trap card is activated, you can special summon one Traptrix monster from your deck. And if your other Traptrix monster's effect is activated, you can set one whole trap directly from your deck. So you have two different effects that both extend from the deck, and they work in tandem with each other. So Sarah just sets up your board insanely well, and we're going to see that right now. So we'll activate Evil Seed's effect. We're going to discard the Myrmeleo that we just added, special summon it. Use its secondary effect. We're going to add the Bloom and the Samurai Beetle from deck to hand. Then we will banish the Samurai Beetle. Alright, now we activate Bloom's effect, and we're going to use its secondary effect in order to special summon the Samurai Beetle from our banishments. Then we'll link these two monsters into the Skeletal Soldier. That triggers Beetle's effect, allowing us to revive a monster from our graveyard, and we're going to choose Myrmeleo. Myrmeleo's effect activates. When it is special summoned, target one spell or trap your opponent controls and destroy that target. This is a mandatory effect that triggers even if you have no targets. Okay, so that means that Sarah can now activate her effect. Since we triggered a Traptrix monster's effect, we can now set a Traptrix trap hole from our deck. So we're going to set the Holotea. Then we'll activate Skeletal Soldier's effect, and we're going to special summon the Evil Seed from our graveyard. Then we will link these two monsters together in order to link summon Ragnaraika Mantis Monk. And with Mantis Monk's effect, we are going to banish the two Ragnaraika cards from our graveyard in order to add the trap from our deck to our hand. Now, in this instance where we are pretending that we have no other cards in our hand, we are not going to use Hunting Dance's effect. Instead, we're going to activate Holotea face down. You can activate Holotea the turn that it's set by discarding a normal trap card. So we're going to discard the Hunting Dance that we just added in order to special summon it. That triggers Sarah's effect, allowing us to special summon another Traptrix monster from our deck. And the Traptrix that we need is Traptrix Dionea because it is a level 4 plant monster. Okay. Alright, now we are going to Xyz the Myrmeleo and the Dionea into Rika Queen Strenna. Then we are going to link the Holotea and the Sarah into Aromaseraphie Jasmine. Now, we'll activate Strenna's effect. We detach the Traptrix Dionea in order to add a plant monster from our graveyard to our hand, which will be the Dionea that we just detached. Now we'll activate Jasmine's effect, tribute the Strenna, in order to special summon the Traptrix Pudica from our deck. Strenna's effect activates when it's tributed, allowing us to special summon a plant rank 5 or higher Xyz monster from our extra deck and attach Strenna to it as material. So we're going to special summon the Sacred Tree Beast Hyperiton from our extra deck. And then we're going to attach Strenna to it as material. Next up, from our graveyard, we're going to activate a Skeletal Soldier's effect, targeting the Master Monk in order to return it to the extra deck. This triggers Sacred Beast Hyperiton's effect, allowing us to attach the Myrmeleo from our graveyard to Hyperiton as an additional material. Now, the reason that we need to trade a Link 3 for a Link 2 is because we can only Link summon this next monster using plants, and Mantis Monk is, of course, an insect. So we'll use Skeletal Soldier and Aromaseraphie Jasmine as material in order to Link summon our Link 4 Bangalancer the Resurgent. You might be familiar with this card in Duel Links. Bangalancer the Resurgent is an excellent interruption. It allows us to, during the main phase, target an effect monster the opponent controls, take damage equal to its attack points, and return it to the hand. Pretty solid effect. Next up, we are going to link our Pudica into another copy of Traptrix Sarah for additional disruption. And then we end our turn. So, with this board, we have Bangalancer the Resurgent to bounce a card, We have Sacred Beast Hyperiton, allowing us to negate a monster effect once per turn by detaching a material. And we have Sarah, who, what we can do with Sarah is, during our opponent's turn, we can banish Traptrix Holotea from our graveyard in order to target a Traptrix monster in our graveyard and special summon it. And we will special summon the Traptrix Pudica. And when Traptrix Pudica is special summoned, we can target one special summon monster the opponent controls and banish it. Then, during their next standby phase, they can special summon one of their banished monsters. That will trigger Sarah's effect, allowing us to set a trap from our deck, because we activated a trap monster. Okay. And then, of course, we still have 4 cards left in our hand, including the Diana that we searched and added. So, there are a lot of options here. This is probably the weakest end board, though, so let's look at the other combos. Alright, now this combo is your bread and butter combo for the deck. This is Traptrix Myrmeleo plus Traptrix Arachnocampa. Now, it's important to understand that I'm just kind of showcasing a couple of combos for the deck. Arachnocampa is really important for the deck because it has an effect that activates from the hand. So, in a lot of instances where you have this deck and you don't open the exact combo, if you open a Traptrix monster plus Arachnocampa, or you just open Mantis, which can search Arachnocampa, then a lot of times what you will do is you will go Traptrix into Sarah, special summon Arachnocampa, activate the effect of Sarah to set a trap, and pass to your opponent if you don't have anything else, which is a perfectly serviceable board. Alright. So we're normal summon Myrmeleo, and Myrmeleo's effect is going to activate. We'll add a whole trap from our deck to our hand, basically any trap that we want. That's not Holotea. I'm going to grab Traptrix Trap Hole Nightmare, which says when a monster that was special summoned this turn activates its effect on your opponent's field, negate the effect. If you do, destroy the card. Pretty good interruption. So we're going to grab that card. Now we will link Myrmeleo into Traptrix Sarah. Then we activate Arachnocampa's effect from the hand. We special summon her. That triggers Sarah's effect, allowing us to set Holotea from our deck. Now we activate Holotea by discarding the Traptrix Trap Hole Nightmare that I just drew, and special summon it in defense position. That triggers Sarah's effect, allowing us to special summon a Traptrix monster from our deck, and we're going to choose Traptrix Dionea. Now, since there is a trap card in our graveyard, Dionea's special summon effect activates, allowing us to target that trap card and set it face down. So we searched and added to our end board Traptrix Trap Hole Nightmare, and you can search any hole trap that you want with this combo. So whatever one floats your boat. Now, we are going to Xyz summon and link summon here. Now, it's important to pay attention to the typing. Traptrix monsters are insects and plants, but this deck uses a lot of plant support, and you have to be careful about that sort of thing. So, Sarah is a plant. Holotea is a plant. Dionea is a plant. Arachnocampa is an insect. Mantis is an insect, and Myrmeleo is an insect. So, when you make the Aromatherapy Jasmine, it needs 2 plant monsters. So that's why we try and make sure that we always use Holotea and Sarah for that, so that we don't have to worry about having any materials on our monster. Like, we want the insect monsters to potentially be materials so that they're not in the graveyard. And then we also always want Holotea in our graveyard because it has a grave effect as disruption. Now we're going to Xyz into the Rika Queen Strenna with Diana and Arachnocampa in the zone that Aromatherapy Jasmine points to. And we'll use Strenna's effect. We detach specifically Diana. We can use Strenna's effect because there is a plant monster in our graveyard. That's Sarah. But we don't want to... We have to have a card in our hand to use the combo. We can't return Sarah to our hand. It would go back to the extra deck. So we have to detach Diana, and then we can target Diana. Return it to the hand. Now we activate Jasmine's effect. We tribute a plant monster it points to special summon a plant monster from the deck, which in this case will be our Ragnaraika the Evil Seed. Ragnaraika the Evil Seed's effect activates as a Chain Link 1, and Strenna's effect activates as a Chain Link 2. So with Strenna, we'll special summon the Hyperiton from our extra deck again, and attach Strenna to it as material. Now we have an negate for Nibiru and other things. Let's add Samurai Beetle and Ragnaraika Bloom from our deck to our hand. And then we will banish the Traptrix Dionea from our hand. Okay. With Samurai Beetle, we will return Dionea to the deck to special summon it. Then we're going to link these two monsters together in order to link summon our Skeletal Soldier. That triggers Samurai Beetle's effect, and we're going to special summon the Traptrix Arachnocampa from our graveyard. Then we'll activate Skeletal Soldier's effect. We bring back the Evil Seed. And then we will use Aromaseraphie Jasmine and Ragnaraika Skeletal Soldier as material in order to link summon the Bengal Lancer, the Resurgence. Next up, we activate Ragnaraika Bloom's effect, and we'll use it to special summon a Ragnaraika monster that is in our graveyard or banished. So we special summon back the Samurai Beetle. Then we will use Skeletal Soldier's effect, return Samurai Beetle to the deck, special summon it. Then we will link these two monsters into our Mantis Monk. Now we activate Mantis Monk's effect and we banish two monsters from our graveyard. Let's banish the Evil Seed and Sarah. Why not? This will allow us to draw the Hunting Dance Trap, which we can now set. Then we will use a Mantis Monk and Bengal Lancer the Resurgent as material in order to link summon the Ragnaraika Stag Sovereign. You might think, whoa, Sarathi, you just got rid of a Link 4. Why would you do that? Well, that's because Bengal Lancer the Resurgent has an effect that activates in the graveyard. I can banish two Link monsters that have exactly 4 total Link materials in order to special summon it. So we just Link summon it back from the graveyard. Next up, we will Link summon our Arachnocampa into Traptrix Sarah. And that passes our turn. So what do we got? We searched any hole trap. In my case, it's Traptrix Trap Hole Nightmare. It could be any hole trap that you want. Floodgate Trap Hole, Bottomless Trap Hole, Terrifying Trap Hole Nightmare, whatever you want. We also have the Ragnaraika Hunting Dance, which targets 2 monsters because we have an insect and a plant as materials. So up to 2 monsters and destroy them. We also have Bounce a effect monster and take damage equal to attack points. We have a Monster Negate with Hyperiton. We have, when we activate one of those traps, we can activate Sarah's effect to special summon Pudica from the deck and banish a card our opponent controls. We can also activate Holotea's effect from the graveyard to special summon back our Traptrix Myrmeleo, which can target a spell or trap card the opponent controls and destroy it. And when we do that, that will also, either Pudica or Myrmeleo will trigger Sarah's effect to set a trap card from our deck for follow-up next turn. Then we also have Stag Sovereign. When our opponent special summons a monster from the deck or the extra deck, we can destroy 2 cards on the field. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 forms of interruption. Potentially 8 if you consider Myrmeleo as a form of interruption. Really, really good. All right. And we still have, like I said, we still have 3 cards in hand. And you are playing a lot of traps in the deck. So the cards that you have left in your hand will almost always be traps of some kind. So you still have a lot of interruption. Great. Okay. Now, let's take a look at a real hand where we have an actual set of cards and we're going to see what it looks like. This is a 2.5 card combo where you need Pudica, Mantis, and a trap card to discard. Now, you can also technically make this combo if you have Trap Garden and then another Traptrix monster along with Mantis and a trap card. It's 4 cards, so it's not likely to happen, but it's definitely a possibility. Pudica only exists to give you the Trap Garden, so if you do open it, you don't need her. Let's get started. So we'll normal summon Pudica and use her effect to add the Trap Garden from our deck to our hand, which is a field spell that says during your main phase, you can normal summon 1 Traptrix monster in addition to your normal summoner set, and the first time each insect or plant monster you control will be destroyed by battle each turn, it is not destroyed. You can banish 1 monster you control to special summon 1 Traptrix monster from your hand or graveyard. You can only use that effect once per turn. Alright, so now we're going to link our Traptrix Pudica into Traptrix Sarah. Then we'll normal summon Traptrix Mantis and we'll use its effect to add Arachnocampa from our deck to our hand. That triggers Sarah's effect, allowing us to set the Holotea from our deck. And we'll activate Holotea, discarding the trap card that we have, which is Terrifying Trap Hole Nightmare. in order to special summon herself. That triggers Sarah's effect, allowing us to special summon the Dionea from deck, and Dionea will set the trap that we just discarded. Alright, next up we're going to activate Arachnocampa effect. During the main phase, if you control a Traptrix monster, you can special summon this card from your hand, but you're locked out of special summoning for the extra deck for the rest of the turn except insects or plants. Now we will link the Holotea and the Sarah together in order to link summon Aromaseraphy Jasmine. Then we will Xyz Dionea and Mantis into Strenna. Strenna effect, detach the Dionea, return Dionea to hand. Jasmine, tribute Strenna. Special summon the Ragnaraika, the Evil Seed from the deck. Evil Seed's effect activates as a Chain Link 1. Strenna's effect activates as a Chain Link 2. Special summon the Hyperiton, attach the monster from grave. Then we'll add the Samurai Beetle and the Bloom, and banish Dionea from hand. Samurai Beetle, return Dionea to special summon itself, and then link 2 into the Skeletal Soldier. That triggers Samurai Beetle's effect, allowing us to revive the Mantis from our graveyard. And now here's the main difference between the two combos that I showed. Since we have 2 Traptrix monsters on the field now instead of just 1 because we had the extra Arachnocampa, we can now Xyz summon into our Traptrix Rafflesia as part of our end board. Rafflesia is the quintessential Traptrix monster, 2,500 defense points, 2 level 4s, unaffected by trap cards while it has material. Traptrix monsters you control except Rafflesia cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. Your opponent cannot target Traptrix monsters you control except Traptrix Rafflesia with card effects. And then once per turn as a quick effect, you can detach 1 material from this card, send a whole normal trap that meets its activation conditions from your deck to the graveyard. This effect becomes that trap card's normal effect when this effect is activated. Great. Okay, now we'll activate Skeletal Soldier's effect. We bring back the Evil Seed. And the rest of the combo is just like it was before. Link these 2 plants into Bengalancer. Bloom effect, revive the Beetle from grave. Activate Skeletal Soldier, return the Beetle to the deck. Link into the Link 3. Link 3, banish the trap monster, or sorry, the Evil Seed and the Sarah. Grab the trap from deck. Set the trap and link into the Link 5. Which you have to specify that you're using Bengalancer as 4 materials to do. Bengalancer effect in grave. Banish 2. And there you go. Okay, so in this instance, the board is slightly different. We still have a monster negate. We still have Bengalancer to bounce. We still have Stag Sovereign. And we also still have Pudica, even though we don't have Sarah anymore. Because Pudica's effect can trigger off of Holotea special summoning itself from special summoning it from banishment. Technically speaking, you could also, if you wanted to, you could also banish Pudica as cost, and then use the Holotea to revive Sarah right now, which would then allow you to special summon Pudica during your opponent's turn when you triggered one of your traps. That's another option if you'd prefer to do that. That one would definitely give you more follow-up because you'd have the Link 1 on your field, and the Link 1 would be protected by Rafflesia. But I mean, you do get another trap card there, so it's probably the better play. But it's depending on your perspective. You do have to actually resolve Sarah's effect, whereas if you leave the Holotea and the Pudica in the graveyard, that's kind of like a surprise for your opponent if they're not too familiar with Traptrix. So, I mean, dealer's choice. And then we also have the Hunting Dance and then the trap card that we opened. Importantly, these 4 monsters are all insects or plants, so none of them can be destroyed by battle the first time each turn, thanks to the Traptrix Garden. Fantastic. All right. That is it for the combo guide. Here is the deck list. 3 copies of Evil Seed, 2 copies of Max C, 3 copies of Ash Blossom and Joyous Springs, 1 Ragnaraika Samurai Beetle, 3 copies of Traptrix Myrmeleo, 1 Traptrix Dionea, 3 copies of Traptrix Mantis, 3 copies of Traptrix Pudica, 3 copies of Traptrix Arachnocampa, 1 copy of Ragnaraika Wicked Butterfly, 2 copies of Traptrix Garden, 3 copies of Ragnaraika Bloom, 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence, 3 copies of Traptrix Holotea, 1 copy of Ragnaraika Hunting Dance, and then the other 4 cards are up to you, or 5 cards. So, I mean, you want to play traps in a Traptrix deck. I chose Traptrix Trap Hole Nightmare, Floodgate Trap Hole, Gravedigger's Trap Hole, which allows you to negate a monster effect that activates in the hand or graveyard. Terrifying Trap Hole Nightmare, which targets a monster with 2,000 or more attack, destroys it, and then banishes a card from your opponent's graveyard. And then Chain Hole, which is when your opponent activates a monster effect in response to a card or effect activation, negate that effect, then your opponent can banish 1 card from their hand or deck with the same original name as the negated card. If they did not, you can banish 1 random card from their hand. So obviously, while this is really good, at making sure that you don't get interrupted, it also can potentially really hurt your opponent if they use the effect monsters or an extract monsters effect. Like if they use Baronne de Flor's effect in response to you activating a monster effect, well, okay, you can Chain Hole. Now not only is Baronne's negated, but your opponent does not have a card named Baronne de Flor in their deck or their hand. They can't. So now they lose a card from their hand as well. Really, really useful card. For the extract, we are playing 1 copy of Traptrix Rafflesia, 1 copy of Traptrix Alomeris, which is a rank 4 with 2,200 attack points that is unaffected by traps while it has material, and you can detach 2 materials from this card to special summon a level 4 insect or plant from your graveyard. So it's basically like an extender to make sure that you can have a decent number of attack points while also summoning a link monster. Rico Queen Strenna, Traptrix Pinguicula, which is a rank 4 that allows you to detach 1 material to add a Traptrix monster from your deck to your hand. And then if a monster owned by your opponent is sent to the graveyard or banished by a card effect, you can attach 1 of those monsters to this card's material once per turn. And while Pinguicula has material, it is unaffected by traps and by the activated effects of monsters with the same type as its materials. So it'll start off as insect and plants, and then you detach 1 to potentially add a Traptrix monster, so maybe just insects or plants. Then, after your opponent has lost 1 card, if they are a single type deck, Pinguicula is immune to all of their monster effects. Sacred Beast Tree Hyperiton, 3 copies of Traptrix Sarah, Aromaseraphy Jasmine, Traptrix Cularia, Ragnaraika Skeletal Soldier, Traptrix Adipus, Ragnaraika Mantis Monk, Bangalancer the Resurgent, and Ragnaraika Stack Sovereign. So as you can see, we are playing literally every Ragnaraika card and literally every Traptrix card that's important. Alright, thank you very much for watching. My name is Srafi, and I was thrilled to have all of you with me.